Hajar said, but you also retaliated and took our whole lives. Saiya said, what else did you expect? After what your son did to me and my family and sister. I caressed him? Who would pay for Mona's surgery and treatments? Your dead son who is now unfortunately alive and free. The one who called my classmate and university friend Keivan so much that he kicked me out a month ago. I told my lawyer to get a ruling that Reza can't come within 100 steps of you. I came to say these things so that you know that I am not that shadow who is trapped and scared. Ask Barbad, how cruel and wolfish I have become. The only person I respect and still love is my father. Although I am upset with him for not kicking Reza out and not separating Mona. After him, this gentleman is Barbad. The one who stayed with me after those disgusting events, although he was a force. I am at the height of depression and loneliness in my house. I hope I don't face Reza this time, or he will live or I will. Sorry to bother you. His release, those memories and Mona, came flooding back to me, and this has to end somewhere. He got up to go to the door when Mano Chair got up and went to her. Saiya? Yes. And she turned to him. Seeing her father's tearful face and open arms, despite all her pride and sadness, she couldn't bear it and went to him and hugged him. This time, father and daughter started crying together. Barbad said, my God. This is the first time I've seen Saiya cry in a long time. She always shows herself to be strong, proud. Of course she is very different from before and she is telling the truth that she is a wolf and a stone-hearted, but she is still the same girl who has suffered and been destroyed. Matab said, I can't believe what misfortunes have befallen Mano Chair and Saiya. They haven't said anything or opened their mouths for all these years. Mano Chair would call her late or absent, coming a lot of work and a mission. Saiya was not a quiet girl, she was in pain, she was like me and she was more of a mother to Mona than a sister. Because we were worried about those events and her going to prison and then being released. Many were like Saiya, but they were released earlier and at a lower cost. And many finished their studies and went to work. Now that she has come after 3 years, she has drawn her sword, and she no longer respects us. Barbad said, don't worry, Matab. Saiya cares about you with all her annoyances, she doesn't want the past to repeat itself or new and bad things to happen to you. Mona also has this face and life because of Saiya. But things got out of hand, especially Mona, and this made Saiya very angry, resentful. She thought I was a traitor and an accomplice to Reza. I didn't understand Mona's strange actions and behavior, and her strong dependence on Reza. In the end, it ended in disaster. Saiya is under psychological pressure and taking pills. I also came because anger and extreme pressure are dangerous for her. She had to go to the hospital a few times and I saved her. Despite the fact that coming here again would cause her to go to the hospital again, she threatened me that even if she was dying, I had no right to take her to the hospital, because if she stayed, I would have to leave her life and I know that she would do what she said. Mona also has a lot of power over Saiya. Mona said, does she wish to die? Yes. She came to save you that day too. When you treated her like that, she hit me with Rassam. Because her own mental condition, Rassam's behavior, and all his advice were unbearable for her. Hajar said, that time. At that ceremony and the vow and Mona's proposal table, I asked Saiya to forgive Reza, that this boy suffered in his childhood, but he didn't accept it, and from Mr. Panajo's resignation to his own work, Mona's deception and his approach to Amir's name in the attempt to rape and have a secret relationship, he brought Mona to Rome to free her. He could have taken this apartment from me, but he didn't. Mano Chair looked at the girl's face and said, you have become a woman for yourself, your face has become established and feminine. You and I fought with all our strength, ability and capacity to save this life so that your mother and sister wouldn't notice too much. However, Matab is your mother and Mona is your sister. Hajar Khanum has also suffered a lot, don't torture her. Rest assured, this time I will stop Reza from getting close to the family and even you. Even though I know you're not the same old Saya anymore. We used to get to know about your life through Barbad. Barbad loves you too, being your older sister really touched her heart. Now stay for me. We'll have lunch together and don't talk about Reza, the past, or resentments. Your sister has also settled down. She came back from the dead. She too has tasted the greed of interrogation. Her friends aren't by her side like they used to, because she's not going anywhere. Be kind to both of them, even if it's just pretending. Say said. Okay, Dad. I'll stay. Her gaze turned to Barbad. Barbad said with a smile, my permission is in your hands. Stay, I'll stay. We'll have lunch together after a long time. Mona said with a smile and a little jealousy, since when did you become so humiliated? I don't know. But I know I owe so much to say that I've lost count. She's really become a sister to me. And he continued with a laugh. I told to herself, I love her and I am like is her younger brother. Mano Chair turned to Hajar and said, Ms. Rahmani, you should stay too. There is nothing we can do about these events. The fault of each of us has been summed up and ended here. As for Reza, I have nothing to say. I may forgive him, but I will not forget. You too, as a woman, an elder, and a mother, deserve your respect. Isn't Golrak Ms.? She is out and at work. She should be found soon. Mano Chair turned to Matab and said, Ma'am, what are you waiting for? Treat us to a delicious lunch. Say has come after a long time. Matab nodded and went to the kitchen with Mona and Hajar.